Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today to announce the opening of exercise equipment at LeGrand Park. Before getting into that, I just want to say how amazing this park is and what it used to look like, 5 years ago when we started this whole project with taking over General Dynamics and putting in the apartments, the Avenel Performing Arts Center, Curtains Bar and Restaurant, some retail space. And this park has had an extreme makeover. It used to be awful. It literally used to be awful. It was called Cancer Park because of a lot of different issues with General Dynamics, but now it is just an absolutely gorgeous place. I'm going to turn the microphone over to the guy to my right here, the famous Eric LeGrand, who this park is named after. We'll get into your tournament in a minute, but Eric, how proud are you to come to this? You only live down the street and around the corner there. How proud are you when you come up to this park and see what it's become?
Well, I think it's awesome because what I grew up with was not this.
Right.
It was not this at all. And we made the best of it, of course. We played football, baseball. We built our bike jumps. But now you come here, and it's really amazing. My mom walks my dog around this track pretty much every day.
Okay.
I come around here with her. You see a bunch of kids out here, and it gives them something to do to get them out of the house instead of playing video games all the time with this new generation. So when if you build it, they will come, and that's what we have here. So I'm
Terrific.
so excited about it.
And we're thrilled that it's named after you. I'll come back to you in a minute about your tournament. Let me go to Councilman Corey Spiller, who lives just down the block, and he's been involved in this project since before he was a councilman. He knows what this used to look like. He's got 3 kids that have used this park their whole lives. Corey, you want to say a few words?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everyone for coming today. As you said, I live 4 houses away. I come home from work, I walk down my driveway, I see Mr. LeGrand walking the dog. I look up, and I can count 20 people walking the track, doing the equipment, just playing, having a good time. As you said, this whole entire area has been transformed for such good reason, good things. So to top it off with this is just fantastic. So thanks again.
Thanks. I want to thank the Public Works guys over to the right there, Bobby and Joe, Dennis, and George. And behind them, Brian Molnar from the Board of Ed, who's also second Deputy Recreation Director, and Carol Orlick, our Chief of Staff. And now the guy who got us into this whole thing, I put him in charge of the Wellness Committee, many years ago. And he took that job probably because he's the most fit councilman. No offense, Corey. He's better. He's more fit than me, too. But Greg Ficara has taken the leadership of that committee very seriously. He's got us doing all kinds of things. We've had healthy food cook-offs, smoothie challenges, walks, bike tours, all kinds of great things. And he was the guy who said we really should start putting adult exercise equipment in our parks. I think it's perfect because your mom can come or dad can come, the kids can go on the swings, they can jump on the elliptical or whatever it takes. But he's the guy responsible for our whole effort here. So I'd like to ask Greg Ficara to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. The story behind the equipment actually was on a business trip out in L.A. I was walking around the park and came across this equipment. It's not terribly unusual to have exercise equipment in a park, but this is functional equipment. In a second, you'll get to see it. It's equipment that you might find in a typical gym, like our community center or some of the private. But it's here in the park, it's accessible to everybody, and as the mayor said, it's very close to the youth area, so adults can actually monitor their children while they're exercising. And I can't think of a better place than park named after Eric to have this equipment first in our town. Our next stop on this, though, Eric, and I showed pictures to Mr. Brew and the mayor, is a canopy over it. So when it's hot like today, there's a little shade. So we were out early this morning. I was walking with Aaron Spiller, and just to compliment everyone here, the parks folks especially, that it's just a wonderful park, and it's a great place to exercise. So thank you to you guys for what you do.
Thanks, Greg. To my left are a couple of guys that are the camp counselors here. This is one. We have camps at, 25 different locations in the summer, between 10 and 12 and between 1 and 3. We have them, they're manned with counselors, and all the kids come. Or this is late in the year, so not as many today, but certainly early in June, right after school, the places are packed. Now, you're Jaden?
Yes.
And I forget your name. Shan. Okay, tell me about what it's like to work in this park. I know I'm throwing you on the spot. I didn't tell you you'd be speaking, but that's okay.
So working in the park is a great experience. It's great to be able to interact with the kids and learn more about them. So we play tag every day. We play Uno with them. So it's just really fun,
Anything you want to add?
Yeah, just like I said, it's really like just fun for the kids. It's better than them staying inside the whole day and just sitting there
How
and
many
playing.
kids have you gotten? Is it more in June like a
Yeah, more in June. A lot of them went on vacation.
Okay.
That's what their parents said. And later on, there's not as many. But usually when they come, they all come in big groups. So there'll be like 10, 12 kids that'll come at once, and they all play together, play tag, whatever they want to do. And yeah.
Great. All right. Now let me give Eric a chance here. 2 days from now, August 3rd at 9 a.m. is the first, what I hope is the first annual Eric LeGrand Cornhole Tournament. Tell me about that. I know we kind of talked about that. Eric came into curtains one night. I was there, go figure. And we just started, talking. And how did we come up with this?
Well, I said I wanted to do something in Woodbridge and, something that everyone could do. And I said everyone could play cornhole.
Right. Okay.
Like I have flag football tournaments, I have 5Ks and stuff. Not everyone's going to do that, but anybody can toss a bag into a hole. So I said,
well, not anybody can do that. I got news. People can toss the bag, but won't go in a hole.
Exactly, but anywhere else. But so we came up with the idea, and we said, we can make this, a big event. We partnered up with Dave & Buster's over at Woodbridge Mall and the people there, and since then it's came together, and we're 2 days out from it. It's really exciting. We're going to have a lot of people out there. Got some T-shirts from everybody. Got the proper beverages for everybody as well, and the food, and a lot of prizes. And we got a lot of people to rally around this event. I'm happy to have it right here in Woodbridge Township.
And it all came together that night, just sitting around a table in curtains. It was really cool.
Exactly.
And so tell me, the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, that's your prize charity.
Exactly. My foundation, Team LeGrand of the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, and all the money goes to them, and we get to raise money to find a cure for paralysis one day. So one day I can walk around this track as well with my mom and everyone else.
All right, cool. And the dog.
And the dog, exactly.
Did you make the call yesterday that we traded back and forth? Did you make that call?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't yet? Okay. So this is, I'm sure you will today. So somebody contacted me and asked me if I knew Eric LeGrand. Of course, we all do. And there's a young man, college graduate football player, who had some kind of surgery and now is paralyzed, hopefully temporarily. And they said, will Eric make the call? So we hooked it. It was late yesterday, so you didn't get a chance to. But today or tomorrow, I'm sure you will. But I know you're going to call, you're going to talk to this kid's mom, then you're going to talk to this kid. And you've done that how many times so far?
Unfortunately, I had to do that too many times, and that's why we want to find a cure so that call is not so devastating. Because when something like this happens to you, it turns your life upside down. So you're just hoping that we can give them some inspiration and put them in the right direction.
Terrific. You're amazing for doing that. And everybody knows by now that Eric got one of the keys to the city. We give out 10 keys to the township at the June 1st Esquire Centennial Picnic. And Eric was one of them. We're very proud of the job this young man does, and he's an inspiration to everybody in Woodbridge Township. We're in his park, and now we're about to unveil the exercise equipment. So, Eric, thanks for coming out today.
Hey, thank you guys for doing this. It's truly amazing. I'm happy to see how the park with my name on it has come together so great. So thank you all for your efforts.
Terrific. All right, we're going to cut a ribbon. 2, 1. All right. Good job, pal. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so what we're looking at now is our recreation directors here are, one is doing a seated chest press and the other is doing a squat. You would typically see this in an indoor gym like our community center. The nice part about this equipment is there's a little knob that can increase or decrease the resistance based on your needs. So it's really a neat strength training equipment that you can couple with walking around so you can handle your aerobics and strength training right here in LeGrand Park. Okay, so now you're looking at a typical stepper, again, that you would probably see in an indoor fitness facility like our community center or the club. And then you have a leg raiser or kind of a reverse sit-up equipment here. Again, the stepper, there's a knob there that you can adjust the resistance depending on hard or less that you want to make it. So very functional equipment. Again, both strength training here in the abdominal area, and this one is in your quadriceps and hamstrings. So you've got the great opportunity, again, to do your aerobic activities and strength training. You guys are doing a good job. Thanks. Otherwise, I'd have to do it. Okay, so now we're looking at the one to the left is actually simulating a Taichi move. It's excellent for flexibilities in the shoulders, the elbows, the wrist. It's very soothing psychologically. And on the other side is a hand pedal, which obviously is accessible to folks that are working to get themselves back into shape. And even, we're here in LeGrand Park. so it's accessible to folks that might be in wheelchairs. So two very nice exercises right here. I like that Taichi. Look, he's getting into it, man. He looks pretty mellow. Okay, so we don't want these guys to do this too long because it's hot out here, but this is plyometrics. This is an explosive type of exercise that's great for the lower extremities, and these guys couldn't demonstrate it the best. You see that there's different heights? Okay, guys. And if you're a senior citizen like me, you can also step on it one at a time. Let me demonstrate, just like that. Perfect. And then down. So we got a multi-use station here. Okay, so we have the young Tommy Mitch here on an elliptical trainer. Obviously, for folks that work out, this is a standard piece of equipment in most gyms, and it's really quite remarkable that you can have a piece of equipment outside that can withstand the elements and be used all year round, and Tommy's doing a great job. You can see the flow. It's a very smooth exercise, and in the back on the wheel, you notice the black knob. And again, that's to adjust the resistance. So it's just an excellent piece of equipment. If you want a little bit more aerobics, this is your machine, and it also helps with the lower extremities with strength training. So we have our director, George Brew, now doing the steps, and it's obvious how this exercise works. I asked George to do this because George, the mayor gave me a lot of credit, but George was the driving force behind researching the equipment. I think that's good enough, George. You demonstrated it. We actually took a road trip up to Bayonne. We went to Bayonne, which is one of the few cities in the state that has the equipment, so we really got a good look at it. And again, this piece of equipment is pretty easy because it steps up and a ramp down. But again, George, thank you very much for following through on it. I know it took us about a year once we got the mayor's approval, and you did a great job. So I don't know if you want to comment.
Just a couple things to point out with this equipment. On each sign, there's a link to explain the proper exercise techniques.
Right.
You know, we have 6 pieces here, but there's variable uses out of each one of them. Exactly. So there's a lot more than 6 different exercises going on here.
Yep.
So the link explains exactly most of your YouTube videos.
Right.
Each piece of equipment, the best way to use it to get the most out of it. And as Greg said, there's very few of these in the state. We found similar equipment in Bayonne. We reviewed it up there and got some good positive feedback, which made us go with the equipment we have here.
Yep.
So, yeah, it came out good, and we're looking to do another one.
Good stuff. So make sure if you're a citizen, you don't have to be from Avenel, but especially if you're from Avenel, get out here, try out, come down to LeGrand Park. You never know, you could see Eric or his mom and the dog and do a little exercise.